Hi, and welcome to another Metaphysical Monday here on Uncensored Intuition. Let's talk about manifestation. There's been a lot more videos that I've been seeing about the law of assumption, which I believe to be more of a precursor to the law of attraction. Or not, maybe a prerequisite. So I was sitting in my car waiting to pick up the kids last week when I just kind of had this thought about the law of assumption. A lot of people would think of the word assume, meaning to like have a preconceived notion about someone, which is partly what we're kind of going for. But in assuming, we're talking more of taking something on, assuming a role, assuming an identity, like identity theft, but we're not stealing, we're making one up. Okay, just a little hint for the end of the video. This should be a pretty short one. It was just like a stream of thought that I recorded in my car and then took notes from. So, let's kind of get into it. If you're new to the channel, my name is Melissa. I'm thinking about changing the name of the channel from Uncensored Intuition to Metaphysical Muse or Metaphysical Musing, something along those lines, because I am more of a muse, not a teacher, coach, or guru. Any of that. I am just here to hopefully spark a little inspiration on your journey, something that you may want to maybe research for yourself. So this is something that kind of came to me that I felt like I should share. So talking about the law of assumption, which I feel is very closely related to the law of perception, which I don't even know if is a real thing, but I feel like perception and assumption go very closely together for this purpose. So, assuming meaning to take on for oneself, okay, to acquire, to absorb, to what is the other? To accept as your reality, right? So it's something about yourself that you want to accept, absorb, maybe not about yourself, but about what you want for yourself, okay? So to me, the law of assumption is assuming an identity which you prefer. Very easy, right? But how do we do that? So typically you would hear phrases for law of attraction in the community of fake it till you make it. What else did I write down? Acting as if. So we're taking it a little bit deeper than acting as if, because we don't want to act this role. We want to have it. We don't want to act like a millionaire. We want to be a millionaire. We don't want to act like we're in love. We want to be in love. We don't want to act like we are happy. We want to be happy. So it's not necessarily a fake it till you make it concept. Even further, we would go be it till you see it. You have to be it and then you'll see it. Which is, I feel like, coming around a little more popular, tied in with the fake it till you make it. Don't fake it till you make it, be it till you see it. I'm sure I've seen that many places. I didn't make that up. So, typical ways that we would do this: acting as if, fake it till you make it, pretending. You don't want to pretend. Do you want the universe to pretend to give you what you're asking for? No, you want to have it. So you don't want to pretend. You don't want to act. You don't want to fake it till you make it. You want to assume it so you can consume it. I made that one up. It's not as good. I know. It's okay. You won't hurt my feelings. So you're going to act confident. You're going to dress for the job that you want. Now, there's more to that one, but you're going to put things in your environment that remind you of, what you want to have or the lifestyle that you prefer to live. So you adorn your body, you adorn your home, you make your car feel fancier than it actually is so that you feel like you're driving a fancy car, right? Those are things that affect your feelings, not necessarily acting. You're making changes in your life that will affect how you feel. So that, I feel like, is what is taking the law of assumption, the law of attraction, deeper to the law of assumption, deeper to the law of the perception, and deeper. Like, the deeper you go, the more active it will be, is kind of what I'm going for here. So back to the dress for the job that you want, not the job that you have. The reason that we say things like that, and that is a thing among people, is because how other people perceive us, and this is where I get to the juicy part, how other people perceive us affects our energy. How other people perceive us is like them assuming our identity for us. So, now correcting some of the things like confidence, things that are really deep, that have wounds or trauma associated with them, will require some shadow work. If you don't know, I make journals for that kind of stuff. My journal shop is in the link tree. If you go to the journal shop, like all of I have shadow work prompt journals and other stuff. But anyways, besides that, it may require some shadow work to figure out the why. Why do I not have confidence? What trauma do I carry that needs to be healed? So that will be part of it if it's something like that. But yes, looking at what you're wanting will kind of show you any kind of triggers or traumas that need to be healed that can kind of like unlock that. So there is that aspect of it. So that is maybe not always necessary, but maybe an important part of the journey for you. Just something to think about. Specifically the one about acting confident. There's got to be a reason why you don't feel confident, and that's something that needs healed. Not necessarily before you move on, but it will help in the process. So we're presenting ourselves in a way in which we wish to be perceived. So dress for the job you want, not for the job you have, is creating a perception by others. And that's what led me to this video, to where we are right now. Others assume you to be what you put out for them to perceive. I'm going to say that again. Others assume you to be what you put out for them to perceive. Their perception does have an effect on the energetic identity of who you are. Now, if you think about past situations where you were misperceived, I guess, if that's a word, where people assumed, a lot of people, I have resting bitch face, I can't help it. I have been told many times, that particularly at work, that I was intimidating, which when somebody tells a woman that they're intimidating, I feel like it has to do with beauty, and that's something that I need to work on in the shadow work. But I kind of come off, I don't smile to strangers. I'm just like, I mean, I guess I do now, but I don't always. Like, if you were to just look at me in my head, I would not be somebody you'd want to approach. So what you put out, that is how people perceive you. But we can use that, and that's where we take this deeper. We can use the perception of others to our advantage, okay? Take advantage of technology to include the perception of others. Is this something that may help magnify your intention, your assumption? You assume your assumed ideal identity magnified by others perceiving you in this ideal identity. Their perception is an assumption. They're assuming you to be something based on their perception of you. This is why I say assumption and perception go together. Their perception causes them to perceive you in a certain way. So what you put out will kind of influence, that's the right word, thank you, influence their perception of you, and which will influence your own energy, especially if you intend it to. So my suggestion, challenge, whatever you want to call it, we are pretty technologically advanced in our society. I mean, compared to 10, 20 years ago. Make a social media account for your preferred identity, for your ideal identity. You don't have to put your face on it unless you want to. It could end up blowing up and giving you exactly what you're going for. But in a law of assumption aspect of it, I would challenge you to consider this. And you don't have to actually do it, but you could do it on paper in a journal as a journal activity or something like that. You can create a not a fake social account, but create an Instagram, set it to private for now, post videos, make it almost like a vision board, if you will. Allow people to follow you. At first you may want to screen that shit because you never know. This is for strangers on the internet, not your coworkers and your family, okay? But you can incorporate this into that as well. Post places that you want to go, your bucket list areas, your clothing that you wish you could afford to buy right now. And in the captions, this is mine. I just bought this today. Isn't this like a great fit? Like whatever, and make it in an I am in your captions. What else? Homes that you want to live in, what you want your own house to look like. Say you're happy with your house, you just wish you had the funds to redo the paint or buy new furniture or whatever. You can post pictures like that. So then you have other people, possibly, hopefully strangers on the internet, seeing that of you and perceiving this person behind this account has these things. So then their assumption puts that also into the universe on your behalf. This does not have anything to do with free will. They're going to everyone perceives people however they're going to perceive people. Influencing somebody's perception of you is not messing with their free will. So I feel like that might be something that could come up for some people, but wouldn't that be like lying to them? These are strangers on the internet. And let's be honest, if you made a real account and you put your real shit up, they probably would perceive you differently than you intended anyways, right? So why not influence the perception? So this does go to, dressing for the job that you want rather than the job that you have. But it goes a little bit further than that and kind of harnesses that energy of others' perceptions to kind of amplify your intention there. So I'm just curious. I might try this. I already have several social media accounts because of this YouTube channel and because of the books that I make. So I don't know if I could get away with that. But I want to try it with you. If you try it, let me know how it goes. What do you think? And I have a question. What is your perception of me? Let me know in the comments. I'm curious. So yeah, that's what I have about the law of assumption here. Trying to take it a little bit deeper for you, to make it a little bit more fun. Not necessarily, the shadow work part that I talked about earlier is not fun, but you get the idea. Have fun with it, because if you're not having fun, what's the point? I'm sure a lot of the things that you want to manifest are fun, so have fun with it. But again, you can do this on paper if you don't want to start a social media account. Whatever, do it on paper. Draw it out. Draw a whole like a replica of Instagram or Facebook or whatever you want. Draw like a replica homepage, like feed. What is it? The first thing that you see, your home feed, whatever it's called, timeline. I don't know. They keep changing it, but like draw it out, make it artsy. Include like little ads on the side for things that you want to buy. Whatever. You can get really creative with it. You don't have to actually create a social media profile, but that will get the other people's energy involved. So, what do you think? Let me know. I will see you on the next video. As always, don't forget that the magic you seek is inside you. Have a blessed day.